Hey everybody, this is Nick Mayhew, three-time gold medalist and three-time world record holder, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Steven Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Steven Cuoco.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are live on air with Steven Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. For those that are tuning in, I want to thank you for joining us on the power985.com website. We're available on the iOS and Android app, also on Alexa, so add the Power 98.5 Satellite Radio in your Alexa skill for all things Power 98.5, sports, celebrities, talk, and only the important stuff. Today, it's a beautiful day. I think we're going to be having about 108 degrees here in Las Vegas. We got some NBA events coming up this weekend. Also, starting next week, we've got Terry Tatiana. You're going to find out a lot about her, but so you're in the now, head on over to the power985.com website. Go under talk shows, and you're going to see the lineup there of all of our top hosts in entertainment, sports. And Terry, you know, she's going to be bringing a lot to the table. We're going to be adding and extending out a show. It's going to be live with Steven and Terry. We're not going to drop too much of these gems right now, but, you know, if you just get a taste of reading her bio, what she's doing in a world of public relations, media, fashion, entertainment, it's huge. We're going to be setting her up with Candy Burris, one of her cast members from Candy and the Gang, my good friend Brian. Going to be introducing both of them together since they're out of Atlanta. I know Terry's going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of fashion shows coming up, but we got a lot in store for you. So we're going to get to our main star of the day, Kamari Bonds, best known for the hit Netflix show Twentysomethings, Austin. This was a recent reality TV series I had the opportunity of watching. Big shout out to all the cast members that have, you know, been part of this project. One thing I'll have to say and put it out there to Netflix that I would have loved to see or have seen a lot more publicity surrounding this show. It would have been a lot more noteworthy of what's going on, because if I did not just shift through what Netflix was offering and what was to be had, I would never have found it. So we've got Kamari Bonds with us. Kamari, welcome to Live on Air with Steven Cuoco on Power 98.5, model, actor, and reality TV star. How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Appreciate the introduction. Thank you for having me today.
You're very welcome. It's well deserved. You're doing a lot of great things in the industry. You make it a very valid and strong point that fashion is huge within the signature into the DNA of who Kamari Bonds is all about. Bring us up to date on to what's happening since the show within the industry. Are you having any projects, anything behind the scenes that's going on, whether it be from television to runway?
So currently right now, I'm still signed with my agency in North Carolina and the agency Entourage that they saw me get signed with in Texas. The market is good. The market is, of course, changing consistently, just as far as the time of the season and what certain agencies may be looking for. My main thing is just continuing to be consistent. I got a call today. I'm working next week for Champion, so that'll be fun. And really just working on getting signed into other agencies and bigger markets as far as like New York and LA, so that way I can continue to just travel and book bigger clients and just continue to do something that I love.
Now, when it comes to Champion, if you're at liberty to share with us, Kamari, is this going to be some sort of magazine campaign? Is it going to be a New York billboard, a television commercial? What's happening?
Yeah, so this is just going to be basic e-com. So pretty much when you go onto the website and you're shopping, you're looking at the products and whatnot, I'll be one of the models that you see on there. And like with a company like Champion, I don't know if you noticed, but like when you go to these websites, you usually see like the same group of models kind of just like filtering in and out, wearing different clothes. So I've been blessed to work my way up and be one of those models for Champion. So I work with them pretty consistently. Shout out to everybody at Champion. I love y'all.
You never know. You could end up on a New York billboard. You know, it's not unrealistic, would you say?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like so like right before I got the opportunity to do the show, I was actually going through the interview process when I was shooting a winter fall campaign for them. And it's crazy because like the way like the industry works, like you'll take pictures and you'll never see them. And so I actually never even saw those pictures. And one day I was on YouTube and like got a random ad, and it was me and like 5 of the other models I shot with. And I was like, yo, I completely forgot about this. I never even saw these pictures.
But here's the thing. Why aren't they sending them out or being like, hey, Mr. Bonds, we've got this campaign that's launching. You're going to be on a website. Like, that's important for you, for knowing your GPS and how to navigate to share on social media and to let other brands know what's current with you.
Yeah, I think that was one of my questions early on, because I'm like, yo, like I'm doing all this work and shooting these pictures. Like I want to be able to see the work. So I guess I'll say like at the level I'm at right now, like I feel like what the clients usually do, because it's a lot for them to go through the pictures. Once they have what they need, that's pretty much all they care about. So even now, like it started, I would be just chilling. Like my mom would send me this random picture of myself, and I'm like, oh snap! Like I haven't even seen this. Where'd you find this picture at? And so no, they never tell you, but you can always just find yourself floating up on a website. Or now if I was on a billboard, I'm pretty sure that they would let me know, like, hey, the campaign you shot is on a billboard, or my agent would at least let me know. And at that point, I'll pretty much reach out and be like, yo, like I need some of these pictures back from the client.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. You are an advocate for the company. So just think of the loss of exposure, the free exposure they would get when you're like, hey, check me out, go click on this link and, see me in the updated, fall or winter or spring fashion. So they'll catch up with the time sooner or later, but you are a Gen Z. Your generation is extremely smart, ahead of the time. And if they don't learn, you'll eventually teach them.
Always. Most definitely.
One of the biggest things I would love to know is, since the show, what have you been most proactive personally and professionally in your life? So let's start personally. What have you learned about yourself since Netflix 20-somethings? And would you do it again?
So for starters, I would say I would definitely do it again. Just having an experience like that in itself is it's a blessing in itself. And being pulled together like with 8 other people from across the country and just thrown into this house and kind of just seeing what happens. It's stuff that went on in that house and just things that we went through together as a family that you really had to be there to understand and experience it. But since y'all weren't there, like the way that I'll put it for you, it felt like one long ass overnight summer camp trip. Literally, like it was so much fun. And so I definitely came out of that with lifelong friends and family, and so I'm forever grateful for that. And just as far as what I've been doing personally past the show, really making sure that I keep myself in a grounded state, and that I continue to focus on what's next. And of course, I'm very grateful for everything that's happened, but it's like the way that I live life and the way that I move is like, okay, the show was done. Like it was a great opportunity and it changed my life forever. But now it's kind of like, what can I do next? You feel me? I've realized a portion of my dream. And so it's just like, what can I do to get to that next level? And things that I can do to get to that next level are just keeping myself in my routine and doing the things that got me to this point. So I've just been trying to take it to the next level as far as like my knowledge of things that I'm interested in, so I can get into these different industries. And so it's an everyday process.
Good. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay. I
there.
wasn't too sure if I lost you. You ended very, very good, but very interesting in a way towards like, is he still here or not? When we think about the exhilaration, the high, the energy, do you still feel just as inspired and exhilarated after the fact now? Or are you just running on some sort of different type of adrenaline or rush or inspiration?
That's a very good question. And that's why I was saying I'm grateful for what happened, but now it's kind of like what's next. Because of course, like when the show dropped, like it was my first time being introduced to the world and like me being on TV. Like I was on a Netflix reality show, and so that's a big reality change, and there's a lot that can come with that. And so there was this high that I was living off of, just because it's like you see all the followers going up and you see all these emails of possible brand partnerships, and you know then you have people recognizing you when you're out in public and whatnot. And then you got your family that's just so proud of you, and your friends just want to know every single detail. And it was definitely a high, and it still is a high, just because it's still a high, because it's like, okay, for me, it's kind of like confirmation. Like I know I'm on the right path. But now, about 6 months after the show, it's something to where you have to find it within yourself to keep going and kind of give yourself that your own high off of life, which is something that ET says a lot. Like, what's the difference between motivation and determination? And it's like motivation, you feel me? It comes from internally. So it's just like continuing to stay motivated, and keeping that fire alive within me. So that way, when I'm in my next opportunity and when I'm doing the next project, I'm still on that certain vibrational level, and my energy is up to par, you know?
It's no secret, Kamari, that you believe in to do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. We know that you embrace change. You've expressed that in the past, and you don't mind exploring different opportunities. If we think about who you are, how successful you are, how highly intelligent you are, if you were to have a moment and life, God, the universe, even your own self-intuition were to be like, you know what? I've had my experience in television, modeling, acting, and I believe I've done everything I wanted to do, could do, and I truly feel and know that I'm successful for what success means to me, and I'm ready to move on to something differently. Is there another version of Kamari in this timeline where if modeling and acting and television didn't or doesn't exist for you, what would you be doing?
I think, well, I'll start off by saying there's definitely another version of me. I think there's plenty of versions of all of us. It's just a matter of us actually tapping in to that version. So I would say if I wasn't modeling, acting, and doing TV, I would be an artist, 100%. I would be a painter or a fashion designer, or somebody like Daniel Arsham, who is just an artist of all sorts, from creating interior design pieces to art pieces to art sculptures, made out of like granite and quartz crystals, and things of that nature. Because I love art. Like I've always loved art, and it's something I really want to get back into, actually. But that would definitely be my second calling. I'd be an artist.
Is that something you feel and believe that you can start now within this time? You've just got the champion deal. Things are happening for you, knowing that you've got 1,440 minutes. 86,400 seconds in a day to do as you wish, Kamari. Is that something that, even to speak for myself, you're going to surprise me with in this timeline, in this dimension, in this life? And, hopefully not put it on the back shelf, to strongly consider that this can be a reality now and unexpectedly could open up doors for you never expected before.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad you're saying that, because again, it's just confirmation for me to get up and make a move. It's definitely a reality that can happen now. I love to draw. I have this huge canvas just sitting in my closet, and I don't know what I'm waiting for. So I definitely think I'm going to surprise some people, just because not many people know me as an artist, but the people that have been around me, they know I've always loved to draw, loved to paint, took art a few years during school, and I love to play around with the different mediums. So I definitely think that you guys can expect to see some sort of art from me, especially with all this digital stuff going on. It may be digital, it may be like physical art, but I'm definitely excited to step into that. Because like you said, I would hate to miss out on that opportunity when I know it's something like very close to my heart. So, but I'm at a point now where I know at one point I wanted to kind of create art and like show people like, oh, like I'm an artist too, or like I can do this, that, and the third. But I'm at a point now where it's kind of just the outlet, a way of expression for me. So I feel like I'm just going to create pieces that I love and that mean something to me, and I know that they'll touch the right people.
One of the strongest things that I will say to you, what I truly believe, and I appreciate your candor and transparency, is that art is a huge fundamental prospect, aspect, and commodity in the fashion and entertainment world. And many people, especially when we think of, Halston and a lot of, fashion designers from the 80s and 90s, use backdrops heavily within fashion shows. Now, when we think about fashion shows, I know you're very familiar, whether they're outdoors or however they may be, a lot of times the main focus is on fashion. But when we think of lights and music or certain areas of fashion, backdrops and props are still used very heavily. How interesting would it be, Kamari, that you begin to apply and imply your perception of the fashion industry and experience into your backdrops, into your art, and think of reaching out or connecting with up and coming fashion designers, or reaching out to maybe fashion designers from Project Runway and inviting them or asking them if they need an art piece backdrop for an upcoming fashion show, and even offer that if they have a men's line, you would like to be part of it. If it's just a woman's line, to add in your art piece.
Yeah, I love that idea. Just because the worlds are so fashion and art, they are so intertwined with each other. And it's crazy because like that's one of the main things that I notice when I'm watching a fashion show. I love the way that Virgil does his fashion shows. Just as far as like having a whole setup. I think on his fall winter collection that they just did, the last collection that was actually designed by Virgil himself, they had this huge house that was like demolished, and it looks like they were sitting on the top of it. And like art, just like fashion to me is art that's moving, and so just wearable art. And so being able to create a dope piece that would be in the backdrop, I think that would be very dope. And actually, one of my best friends and I, we've done a few fashion shows together. And so I think that's definitely something that even we would love to incorporate. But I would love to reach out to some of the people from Project Runway. My mother loves that show. And see if we can work together in the future.
I also suggest, from the recent season 19, Octavio Aguilar.
Okay.
I can see, your potential art pieces, even though I don't know anything about them yet. But in my head, just knowing the fashion industry as well as I do, and having had worked with, designers from Project Runway and outside of Project Runway, you would fit perfectly, not only as a, director, or, you know, a producer within the art aspect in creating art installations for these shows. I believe that it's going to take you not only financially, personally and professionally, and mentally and emotionally into other areas and dimensions of yourself that is going to broaden you in ways that university and college could never do.
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. Like that last statement that you just said, brought me in other ways that like universities could never do. That is like, so when I was in college, I had a fashion merchandising minor, my up until my sophomore year, and just because of some stuff that happened, I ended up dropping it. But as I was talking to myself and just going through it, like thinking if I wanted to drop it or not, what I was telling myself was there's certain people that I'm going to be shadowing, working with, and just actually getting that real world experience that I could never learn if I sat down in the classroom and learned. You know, I believe I got to get out there and like actually, like we say, like really get in the field and put that work in. Because that's personally how I learned the best. You know, I'm a visual person, so I would love to do something like that.
Is there anything that's happening with you that you would like to do in your life that you believe you can accomplish and do that immediately now in order to inspire and to help future generations and people out there that just have given up? Because this really is a hard time right now for all people of all ages that are relocating. They have no idea what to do. They have degrees. They're not utilizing them. You are very aware, as we all are, where the temperature is at when we think of international affairs, finances. Is there any type of resolve or hope that you can offer to the listeners or anyone out there in the world right now?
Definitely. I think my biggest service to people at this very moment is, okay, so like my friends and just the people that are close to me. I always tell people, like, you're not going to be put into a room that there's not space for you. And you need to be on a vibrational level of the opportunity or the life that you actually want. And so I would say when it comes to personal development and like just mindset, that would be my biggest service. Just by trying to tell people the little things that they can do to become a better you, just as far as having a better diet, going to the gym consistently, creating a certain routine that keeps you aware and grounded. For me, it's waking up in the morning and meditating and journaling. Because I think that a lot of people get so caught up in looking at the next person that they don't even realize like the person that they're looking at and kind of envying, or like maybe they may be a little jealous of. It's like all those things are available to them as well, but they have to look inward for that. And once you find that inward, it'll be an abundance and an excess of it around you. You know, it's not a coincidence. Like, you know, when people say, when I change, everything else changed. And so I think my main thing would just be getting people to know that it starts with you and just a decision.
You've described yourself, Kamari, as a creative entrepreneur. Tell us more about what that means to you and what you're doing in the world.
So, of course, like just being a basic entrepreneur, a business starter, somebody that works for themselves, someone that's always grinding, going on numerous business ventures, even called a self-proclaimed serial entrepreneur. And so I was raised by two self-employed parents. My dad was a hairstylist growing up. He had his own hair salons. My mom was a nail technician. She had her own nail salons. My brother, he's 6 years older than me. He got into culinary arts around like middle school, and now he's a private chef. And just like being surrounded by all of these people working for themselves, I was like, yo, like I want to work for myself. I want to be able to dictate when and how long I want to work. The main thing that made me have that mindset was my mom used to always tell me, nobody's ever going to pay you what you think you're worth. And so that was kind of that's what planted the seed for me wanting to be an entrepreneur. Now when it comes to putting creative in front of that, me myself, like, I'm very creative. I consider myself a creative person, just because of things from like my ear for music, my love for art, my passion for fashion, just things of that nature. So it's like anything that I'm doing as far as like a business venture, it's going to be given and conducted in a sort of creative way. And like my first business venture was an organization that my friend and I had started in college called Diamond Productions. And we were doing everything from directing, producing, modeling. I wasn't doing this part, but like choreographing dances and like putting out music. And so it's like everything that we were doing, it had some sort of creativity in it. And I think that everybody is creative. I think that everybody utilizes creativity, even in their everyday jobs, whether they know it or not. Like, that's a basic problem solving, something that you have to have for basic problem solving. And so I guess I just try to embody creativity in everything I do. So that's why I call myself a creative entrepreneur.
It fits you perfectly. And I appreciate what you shared about what your mom had said, that people are not going to pay you what you're worth. And there are moments I have said to people, and it wasn't in an arrogant manner. It was in a way to where, if ever feeling challenged about self-worth, I have no problem saying to somebody, if it's appropriate or the right time to say it, that you will dig for gold even after your death to learn or to figure out or to find out what my self-worth is all about. Because without having that level, and I believe you can get this, and we've had some good conversations, Kamari, that people misinterpret good or healthy self-esteem with arrogance. And I believe having a good self-esteem, a healthy self-esteem, shows itself through, candor, forthcoming, perseverance, and prosperity, success and growth. A master is a student and teacher all at the same time. In an arrogant way, I believe it's when something is being shoved in your face. Ooh, look at my yacht. Ooh, look at me. Look at this. Look at that. And there is a difference between the humble part and the arrogant part. I believe that you have a way, and you as a teacher is going to teach a lot of people that no matter what you have in life, it's all about self-image, self-worth, self-perseverance, self-identification, and truth. And you are that person that's going to continue, and that's what I've had the opportunity to learn about you, Kamari, is everything is about truth with you. One way or another, let's get down to the truth. What is going through your mind? How do you feel about me saying that to you?
That aligns with everything that I believe in. One of my main things, you touched on it, the difference between like arrogance and confidence. And I hate it because I see it so many times. Like, I noticed that not a lot of people are confident, and I get it because there's phases of everybody's life that we go through where, you may be dealing with something, or you may just not be having the best day. So, naturally you don't feel as confident. But like when it really comes down to it, I hate to see so many people that aren't confident in themselves and what they have. And they look at people who are confident in themselves and, what they have in their life. And it's kind of like they're looked down upon them. Like, they tell them to be humble. And it's like, everybody is great in their own way. And as long as you're not taking away from the next person, or like you said, shoving it in somebody else's face, or, you know, trying to one up somebody. Like, I hate seeing people that I know aren't arrogant be called arrogant. And I've gone through that myself. And that was actually something that my mom taught me about, like, from a young age. My mom's from New York. And so when she was sent down south to live down here at a young age, like, she had a lot of girls that, like, didn't like her and whatnot. Cause, you know, like, from up north, like, if you from up north, like, you fly, you on the latest music, fashion sense and all that. And it's like, she just told me what she had to go through herself, as far as knowing, like, just knowing yourself and always staying true to who you are and not listening to the outside noise and he say, she say, and just always being confident in yourself. But just piggybacking off of that, to be confident in yourself, you have to love yourself. And a lot of people, they don't love themselves. And you do have to learn how to love yourself unconditionally. And it's the same way it's a choice to love somebody else. It's a choice to wake up and love yourself every day. So I hope to see that theme grow amongst the masses. But I just hate seeing people who never reach their full potential because they're not confident in themselves.
Do you believe, before we close out, do you believe that you understand and respect your self-value enough, Kamari, where you no longer have to explain who you are to anyone else?
100%. And especially, like, coming off the show, I have a lot of people who don't necessarily know me. All they saw is, like, me being showcased on a reality show, where they just go to my Instagram to see that. But it's like, I know that they don't know me as a person. I know the people in my life who do actually know me and who opinions matter. And so it's like, when the outsiders are talking, it's just outside noise. I'm confident in myself. I know I'm not a bad person. You know, I know my morals and values and ethics. So other than that, it's like, they can say whatever they want to. That don't affect me.
Yeah, it's not part of your script, your novel, your chapter, or even your life series.
Not at all. We write our own stories.
Kamari, I want to thank you for being with us today, live on air with Steven Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. Don't forget, share with your friends, your family, to download the Power 985 app, iOS or Android. Tune in on Alexa, add it into your Alexa skill. The Power 98.5 Satellite Radio is always available 24/7 on Streamin' or Streama, Live Tuner, Live FM Radio, and many more. 200 countries and counting. You can go to the power985.com website, click the bottom right-hand tick, send us a message, your thoughts on what you thought about this show today with Kamari Bonds, actor, model, reality TV star. Kamari, who would you like to give a shout out to?
Man, shout out to all my boys in the 6 listening. Shout out to my grandma. It was her birthday yesterday. Love you. Of course, shout out to my mother, my father, my brother, just everybody who's been a part of my journey and my experience up until this point. Of course, shout out to the whole 20-somethings cast and family. Miss y'all, love y'all. And just shout out to anybody who supports me. If you support me, I appreciate it. Know that the feeling is mutual. I support you as well. Know that you're great. And shout out to you, Steven, for having me on here today.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you, man. You're a stand-up guy. We've had some great conversations, so I look forward to just continuing to talk to you in the future and continue to build, man. I appreciate you for today.
I appreciate you, and it's truly an honor, Kamari, to have you with us. And you're not going to be a one-hit wonder. We're going to have you on again, so keep me posted about any upcoming projects, anything going on. And you know my phone is open to you anytime if you have any questions regarding anything business or personal. What would be the best social media platform to connect with you for fun, personal, or even to book you for an opportunity, whether it be on a camera or off?
I'll say the best network to get to me on would be Instagram. My Instagram is I am Kamari Bonds, so I-A-M, and my first and last name. And then if you guys just want to see some behind the scenes of my life, of course you can subscribe to me on Snapchat, Kamari Bonds with 3 S's. And then I'm on TikTok as well at I am Kamari Bonds. So Yeah, make sure y'all getting me on the socials. I've been posting some more content, and we'll be on YouTube soon, so stay tuned.
You've been doing very well. Thanks again for the promo video. We love it. The team loves it. And enjoy the sun. Enjoy the weather. I think summer is going to be going by a lot faster than what we think. I don't know how your days have been going. Please share. But I literally had 2 days. One where it was like after 4 o'clock and it felt like I only had 2 hours that I had of the day. Like, it was a productive day, Kamari. But literally, I went from like around 7:36 in the morning, and then all of a sudden it was after 4. And I said to one of my friends, I was like, where the heck did this day go? Then the following day, it felt like time was going slower. And I was thinking to myself, God, I can't believe it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So what your days have been like? Has that been happening almost as if time has skipped hours ahead and you're wondering what has happened? And then other days you're like, okay, I can do a lot and get a lot of performance done today.
Yeah, time is definitely moving on its own time. Even like today, like you said, I was up 7. Now I'm sitting here looking at the clock and it's about to be 4 o'clock. And I'm just like, yo, like, where did the day go? Like, there's never enough hours in the day. And then, like you said, other days I'm like, yo, it's still sunny outside. Like, this has been a long day. So I don't know what's going on, but summer's definitely moving faster than we would like. I guess we just gotta enjoy every day to its fullest.
It's true. Well, keep us posted, on social media, TikTok, and everywhere else about what's the latest fashion for summer. We've got fall coming up. And, in a fashion world, they're usually 6 months ahead of time. So would love to see any tips that you would like to share or offer. And once again, get to those installations. Start with backdrops, play around, have fun, reach out to designers. With your level and your status and your expertise, I believe someone would definitely love, and fall's a great time for fashion shows, where your art installations can be included in.
Yeah, most definitely. It is. It's that time. Especially at New York Fashion Week is coming up soon. So definitely got to put some work in. If I have it my way, I'll be walking and having some work somewhere. So.
Well, Kamari, we appreciate you. You're always part of the Power 98.5 satellite radio family. Look forward to finding out and learning more about what's happening with you in your world. And definitely, I hope to be first at the top of the list to find out what's going on with your art and where it's going to be included. Is there anything else you want to share before we close out?
I would say anything I want to share. I'll say if you listen to this, just always put your best foot forward, do the best thing that you can, believe you're the person you want to be even before you're that person, and everything will fall in place. And I have a THC cannabis company, because I know you guys out in Vegas. So if you guys like to live life on the higher end, y'all check out deuces222.com. That's my angel number. Me and my dad company, we started that. So
yeah, I read
just
about
give a shout out to Deuces.
Okay. And just so people know, and I want to read something real quick, because you just reminded me of something, and I believe in that very much. We're going to look that up. So Angel 222. And I just recently saw that number yesterday. 222 is a message of hope, representative of balance, harmony, life choices, commitment, compromise, and trust. It is a sign you can build on your current situation to achieve your goals and more. You might see angel number 222 when you have important decisions, conflicts, or changes in your life.
Yep, sounds about right. It's like, right place, right time. For those of you who don't know, an angel number is just, it's a set of numbers. I don't know what everybody, believes in, but your spirit guides, your angels that are consistently just watching over you. Anytime you see these numbers, it's kind of just like confirmation that everything is good, everything is going to be all right. And 222 for me is just like confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. I'm at the right place at the right time. And all of those other characteristics that you just named off. So it's pretty dope.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you again to everyone joining us today on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio. Kamari Bonds, model, actor, reality TV star from Netflix 20-somethings. Find out all things about Kamari. Head over to his TikTok, his Instagram. Check out his company with his dad. And one more time, Kamari, give us yours and your dad's business page.
So it's called, so on Instagram, it's Deuces Wellness. Deuces, like you throwing up the Deucon, DEUCES, Wellness, WELLNESS.
Perfect.
And then
Go ahead.
Oh, and then the website is just deuces222.com.
Love it. Thank you for sharing with us that. Wish you and your dad much success. I will definitely, check that out. My team will check that out. Take a look at that. And hope you have a great day, Kamari. To everyone, thank you again. We're going to re-air this episode. We're going to do Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, all things Kamari Bonds, business, acting, modeling, and reality TV. 2 p.m. Friday, July 8th, 2 p.m. Eastern, power985.com.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.